let's play League of Legends Patch Notes Bingo! I have a bingo board, um, and I'll be filling it out for this patch note. I have the patch note, I have the league patch note right here. Um, yeah, let's see if I can get a full strike. I want to do this every patch note, and so if you have any ideas for other bingo spots that I can make, leave them out. I'll try to use as many as I can because I don't have a lot of really cool ones. I have some really basic ones, but this could be still neat. I want to make like a randomizer and make like an actual bingo, like random bingo board. So currently I have Riot making a nothing change. This is basically a change that is just a change on paper. This is like a nothing change. This is just meant to like shut people up. A nerf that is actually a buff slash a buff that is actually a nerf. Pretty self-explanatory. Um, this normally happens when they change a hero, but I'm specifically talking about a buff here. It's listed as a buff or a nerf. This happens a lot. Like this surprisingly happens a lot. A buff to ADC. Yeah, pretty much as a class. ADC as a class. A center change. Change nobody asked for, and it's just for the sake of change. Basically, a change just for the sake of change. And nerf the top lane, again, as a class. Buff that champion was already good, pretty self-explanatory. A broken champion not getting nerfed, this is a little arguable. I have a u.gg, and I'll be trying to use that to see what's broken. And I'm using the mid-tier, so Emerald. Okay, actually, I should probably check on multiple tiers. Doesn't matter. A popular champion gets a skin just because they're popular. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Riot contradicting their own statement slash Riot lying to you. This surprisingly happens a lot where Riot just says something that is just incorrect. Riot making a dead meme slash reference slash Riot being cringe. Rework to a champion that was already fine. I doubt this will happen on this one. On this patch, because I already know there isn't a rework on this one. But this happens from time to time, like with what's his name, Swain, where he's already fine, but he's for some reason getting another rework. This is a free space. I can pretty much already draw on this. This is Rise not getting reworked. I don't do a lot of not happening because I feel like it's more fun to when it is happening. So the only ones that I have that isn't happening is Broken Champion not getting nerfed and Rise not getting reworked. I want to try to avoid many not, but I just thought this was funny. A change that is just going to be a balancing nightmare in the future. This happens a lot, but I'm not smart enough to talk about it, so I'm watching like, what's his name, Nemesis talk about this stuff because he understands much more about this stuff. So I'll try and be more objective when it comes to this. A damage buff for no reason, basically a champion getting a damage buff for no reason. Basically the durability patch getting removed. These two together are like the durability patch getting removed. So armor slash MR reduction going up. So any type of shred, percentage shred going up. A fake nerf, a champion getting nerfed only on paper. This happens way too often. The reason I didn't do slash buff is because with buffs it doesn't really work that way. A buff is always a buff. Like even if it's minuscule, it will always be a buff. While a nerf, like that is just on paper, like it changes nothing. It literally is. This is not. It's not the same as a nothing change. A nothing change is when it's like there's a change, it does nothing, and here it's like a nerf that isn't actually a nerf. Like it's not a nerf, and this happens a lot. Riot forgot how to do basic math. Yeah, this one is always funny to me. A revert of an old change from not so long ago. Basically, like Riot going back on their words. This is the basically the same as this one. And oopsie, we overshot a change. This has happened mostly on the like developer note. So I'll try and read the developer note, see if there's anything like that. A double nerf slash buff. So basically, when a champion gets both a direct nerf and an indirect nerf. So for example, if you imagine, how can I explain this really well? So like a champion that builds like that is specifically balanced on like an item, like Smolder. Like you remember how he was really balanced on like Essence Reaver? He still kinda is. So like him getting nerfed and then his items getting nerfed. So like, so then it's like a double nerf, or the opposite, a double buff, like Israel getting buffed and then Trinity Force getting buffed. Like, it's just gonna overshoot him really hard. CC getting buffed. Yeah, I hate this one. Hopefully this doesn't come up. A new Chinese inspired skin. This is not racist. This happens a lot in a League of Legends, where a new skin line would just be like very Chinese inspired. So I had to use this one. A change that was already made, but Riot forgot to include it. This also surprisingly happens a lot, where they just like write a change that was already done in the last patch or the hotfix, and they just didn't write, and they forgot to write it. And it was like already live. A change that is a pure nerf slash buff. So it's listed as a like a change, like a balancing change, whatever they call it, but it's actually just a pure nerf and buff. This happens almost every patch. I can guarantee you it's gonna happen here, because I already know this patch. Because I've read the PTR one, so I'm not sure exactly what this is going to be. Okay, so let's okay. Okay, so I read through this entire part. There isn't really anything noteworthy except that they use memorable strategies. A little cringe, but I'll let it slide for now. Um, anyway, so here is the first change is for fellows. I'm not going to comment too much on the changes. This is mostly for the bingo, but I do want to comment a bit on it. I'm just not that knowledgeable in that much like higher league, like higher ranks. So I don't want to comment too much on it, but yeah. So Aphelios, I'd say he's pretty okay right now. I don't think he's weak at all. I mean, it might seem weak, but 4% pick rate on a champion that is should be really hard to master with a 47% win rate is not bad. It seems a lot worse than it is. Like on Varus, it's like pretty fucking horrible, but that's because Varus is much easier to master and learn. So in like something like Emerald, he should have a much higher win rate than something like Aphelios. But I already looked at higher ranks, and he's not that much better. He keeps almost the same win rate as pick rate and a slightly higher win rate, which does normally show that he's like a fine spot. I do think he's in a fine spot. Um, the thing that I do want to say is the increase to the AD scaling. I hate when they do this. I hate when they just straight up increase AD scaling on an ADC. I'd absolutely write this down on a damage buff for no reason. I don't think he needs a damage buff. It has already did a lot of damage, so this is literally just a damage buff for no reason. It's a damage AD scaling buff as well. So really stupid. I really don't like this. Anyway, let me read through this. Okay, here's a very great moment of Riot just being cringe. So but it also doesn't feel like a breath of light as much as it does a burp. Thanks, Ryan. Let me open it up. I think we could put this in Riot being cringe. Where is it? Yeah, Riot being cringe. Why can I not draw properly? Okay, I just did the Aurelian Soul, and I also calculated it. Yeah, it seems like Riot actually did pretty much their kind of, let's say, due diligence, their basic math, so I cannot deduct points this time for not doing math properly. I'm just calculating the falling star slash skies descent. Anyway, so basically the change here is it's massively trying to reduce the tapping Q, and trying to make it more into like holding Q is better. So I don't want to go through all the changes. I'm not a change. I don't want to be like a change thing. So a change thing. Good job, brain. So yeah, you can read it, or you could look at someone else read this. Basically, the only change here that I really think is significant is the range increase on the W. And obviously the Q changes pretty much again. It's reducing Q tapping while pretty much buffing everything else. And the ult, I just did the check to make sure that this AP is gonna be the same in the shockwave. So because what they're doing is basically the shockwave is gonna be the same AP as before the buff. So the main one is getting a buff, and the shockwave is getting a slight buff, but overall, it's not going to be a massive change. It's a bit of a nerf on the falling on Sky's Descent early game, but like it really is almost nothing. It's there's nothing here to talk about when it comes to bingo. So yeah. So this change, this really is almost like a nothing change. This is basically just to make Velveth more snowballing. So if she's she's gonna be better if she's aggressive, but also if she just farms, it's not gonna be too much. So like, but in like team fights, then you being aggressive will pretty much put you in the same spot, because if you're getting kills and resets, then this change means nothing. The only time where this change is ever impactful is if you're really behind. So it's kind of like trying to give her some counterplay, but like it's fine. It's fine. It's just it's really is almost like a nothing change. I'm very close to giving this a nothing change. Okay, cooldown. This is going down early. Magic damage is going down early game. AP stays the same. I'm glad. I'm pretty sure in the patch notes, the AP in the PTR, the AP went up. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is like it's fine. It's fine. Q Rapture, the base damage is going slightly up, and that's it. That's the Q. Oh right, I forgot to read the things. Okay. Okay, I almost want to consider this as Riot contradicting their own statement. Riot, they're not lying to you, but like contradicting themselves. So this nerf is going to be a lot less meaningful in higher elos for players that already know how to snowball her. So this, I do not know what this means. Elite skewed her? They're trying to say that it pushed her more into like a higher level play, higher ranks, which is the exact opposite of what the old change was and what this change is. Unless I'm misunderstanding this, because I'm not sure what they mean by this, I'm not going to deduct points for this, but I'm really close to. If you weren't convinced before on Riot being cringe, despite a recent nerf, Brand's fire is still blazing hot. Okay, this isn't anything about the bingo. It's just this change is insanely weird. Why is it here? This is a bug fix. What? This is a bug fix, Ryan. Why is this in the patch notes? I guess it's like enough of a bug fix that if you like skip the bug fixes like I usually does fuck my ass, then you would miss this, and it's like big enough that it's worth putting here. I guess it's fine, but like I find it so weird that it's here. Okay, so I just wanted to commentate on this Hecarim change. I really don't like it. There isn't anything contradictory in this statement, but on their past statements that they said they want to balance Hecarim based on his Bruiser build and not his Assassin build, this is a straight up nerf to Bruiser Hecarim in almost every state. And a buff to massive buff to Assassin Hecarim. Assassin Hecarim much more cares about the healing getting increased and the cooldown getting reduced. Because this means he could activate the W, get a few heals from bursts of damage, and then run away, and then reactivate it again. Right? That makes sense, since cooldown is getting massively reduced, and the healing gets increased. While he does not care about the duration, because he's not going to stay in fights for 5 seconds. He's going to activate it, kill you, run away, wait for it to come back again, go back in. That's pretty much how Assassin Hecarim wants to play. And this is going to be a straight up nerf for that style of play. While Bruiser Hecarim cares much more about the duration and less about the healing, because he wants the resistances. The resistances matter so much more in team fights that having a lower duration is probably going to be more of a nerf than having increased healing. I don't like this change. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but I think it's going to bring a lot of Assassin Hecarim back, and it's going to be like a massive nerf for Bruiser Hecarim. At this point, I really want to see this W get fully reworked. since it's so obvious the right does not understand how to balance this ability properly. But this is, it's nothing for the bingo, so I'm going to skip past it. I already know this change. Into late game, then I won't be buffing or early to mid. Okay. So yeah, this is exactly the same as the PTR one. I heard what's his name Nemesis talk about this. He said it's a fine change. There's not much to say here. I don't understand enough about Irelia. But yeah, I just don't understand enough about Irelia. And I don't see anything too contradictory about this statement, so I'm going to skip past it. I'm also skipping Jax and a few others here, like Corki, Cho'Gath, and Bren, which I haven't talked about. It's purely because there's not much to say. It's just a straight up nerf. There isn't anything for me to read in this statement, so yeah, I'm just skipping past it. Yeah, if you want Clemens before, but just damage being buffed, pure damage buff and an AD scaling buff on Jace. I hate this. I hate this. But I already marked the damage buff for no reason. Yeah, there's not much to say here. Again, I wanted to commentate on this change. Once again, there's not much for me to say, but this is stupid. So they're talking about runic ashes and like, we like what those items are doing for the game overall. We're Riot. We literally don't understand anything about balancing. Cool, so instead of nerfing the clearly overpowered item for junglers, for AP junglers, they're nerfing every AP jungler in the game because they refused to admit that Faded Ashes was a terrible fucking idea. No, we cannot nerf the item that has been causing massive balancing problems. Instead, let's nerf every champion that builds it. Right, if you're nerfing every champion that builds Faded Ash, then you pretty much nerfed Faded Ash. You're nerfing what it does for the game. Since if the whole idea of Faded Ash was to bring AP junglers back into the meta, but if you're nerfing every AP jungler out of the meta, what have you done? What has that changed? That is... I'm gonna mark this as a nothing change. Because that's pretty much what that is at this point, right? Runic Ashes is pretty much just a nothing change at this point. Since it does nothing, they literally nerfed every AP jungler in the game. Which would pretty much nerf Faded Ash, since that would change what that changes. I can't really mark it since it's not really a nothing change. But like, this is stupid. This is stupid. This is so stupid. Like, what does that change? What do you like that it does for the game if you're nerfing every AP jungler out of the meta? Not that I want AP junglers in the meta. I hate AP junglers. But it's like, what are you trying to accomplish here? This is a fine change. This is not terrible, I guess. Okay, so again, I'm not too sure about Milio. I've already read through this. I do not understand enough about Milio. I have never played him. But from what I understand, it's like, yeah, okay, so he's getting some buffs on his passive, and his Q is getting like a bigger range, but no longer refunds or something like that. No, opposite, so it refunds more mana if you hit it, and there's a big range buff on his W. Seems like a massive buff, what the fuck? These seems like massive buffs. Am I missing something? Shields himself on be reducing low powerful the strategies. Encourages him to look at opportunities to harass opponents in this queue. Okay. So they're nerfing his damage, if I understand correctly, and buffing his Q. Okay, let's say I understood that. I don't have much to say about this. I don't really see any problem. For the bingo, at least. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is absolutely a change nobody asked for, nobody wants, and is going to be a balancing item in the future. AD Nidalee is a terrible idea. Pros have been consistently saying that it's a terrible fucking idea. Like, why? What are you trying to accomplish here? What are you trying to accomplish here? This is so stupid. 18 in Italy is not a good idea, and I can guarantee you it's going to be a balancing nightmare. Everyone has been saying it, but I refuse to listen. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is completely stupid. I can't. This is such a stupid fucking change. A change that nobody asked for. That is just for the sake of change. 18 in Italy, nobody asked for, and is literally just there for a change. Just because Riley's like, haha, funny build, off meta build, that is gonna ruin the game, but then we won't nerf it because haha, funny. This has seriously happened so many times before. They just buffed like an off meta build for a champion, and then that champion became overpowered, and they were like, what did we do? So yeah, this is stupid. This is stupid, and the change is just going to be a future balancing nightmare. I'm gonna mark this. I might be wrong on this. Maybe I am wrong. Like, it is possible. I'm not a saint, but I can pretty much see it. It's gonna be a balancing nightmare in the future. I should probably remove this for future bingos, since this one's gonna be really hard to like actually note whether it's correct or not. Also, I'm just missing one for the bingo, which I know I'm not gonna get. And unless you consider AD in Italy a rework, which I am not. Okay. Is this one the same? If it is, then yeah. Okay, so Rumble has been a top performer in pro play in this entire split, so it's time to nudge him down where he was last, where he has the least count. What? This and has no permanent resource cost. Opponent feel like the early laning phase is not more in by default. Okay. So the total magic damage, maximum health. Okay, so the magic damage is going down. AP ratio stays the same, and it's not getting a buff or late game. Okay, targets, and they're not buffing the maximum health, right? Okay. A minion damage modifier is going up to 70% at all ranks. Prevents minions from dying to other minions. If they would die to one, take one tick of fine. Okay. So they're making it easier to kill minions. Okay, I'm not sure about Rumble mechanics since I have never played Rumble, but to my knowledge, lane bullies really like being able to kill the waves faster than you, right? Unless he really likes fighting in the wave. But I don't think so, right? He doesn't have like any rise ability that like actually helps him fight in waves. And it's not like Rise actually likes fighting waves either. It pretty much is just for the harassment. That's the only thing. So he doesn't like to actually fight in waves. He just likes to poke you in waves. Like use the wave to get like extra range to poke you. And even then, it's just that. It's just for harassment. So being able to push waves a lot faster and have more quality of life buffs, I genuinely think this is enough to like actually balance out the nerf. I mean, it is a 45 damage reduction early game, which is a lot. I mean, it is a lot of damage early game to be reduced. So, it's not nothing change, it's a really weird change. Why increase the damage to minions so much? Maybe it's trying to keep it the same, actually. Because if we do, so 70% of 125, so I do 125 times 0.7. So it's still higher, right? I did 127 instead of 125. That is still higher than the base one. And then the base damage. Okay, I'm not sure enough about Rumble. This seems to me like a change that isn't actually going to be as much of a nerf as Riot thinks it is, but I wouldn't say it's a nothing change or Riot lying to you. I just feel like it's a really weird compensate buff. Like, why do this at all? Lane bullies like to push waves, right? They want to push you under the tower. That's how they win, especially in higher level of play. Like, for example, like Rumble against Cassante, one of his weakest matchups. If he pushes the wave fast enough and pushes Cassante under the tower at level 4, the jungler can come in. That's exactly when he finishes his extended pathing. And he comes in, he kills the top laner, and then goes to take the not Scuttlecock, the Void Grubs. So, I genuinely don't get this change. Like, if he pushes the waves faster, and he does, like, it is pretty much a pure nerf to his push potential in every fucking rank, except for the absolute, the highest, like, right, it's then flex 75, which will be like level 18, right? Which at that point, like, really doesn't fucking matter. The early wave pushing is going to be even better, even if you include the nerf. And every level after that, so every, like, level 2, it's just a massive fucking buff to his push potential. Like, yeah, because you max Q first, right, on Rumble. I'm not insane here. This seems like a terrible change. Him being able to push the waves so much faster, especially at like level 3. Level 3 is just going to be almost a pure, it's going to be a pure buff. It's going to be a massive buff to his push potential. And he can push you under the tower and then stacks waves underneath you. And that's exactly what lane bullies like Rumble want, because they want to free poke you. Unless I'm stupid and this is exactly what Rumble doesn't want to do. Like, does Rumble really want the wave to push into him? Is that a thing? Wants to freeze it or something? I don't know, but like, this seems like a terrible change. But I'm not sure. I don't want to give something that I'm not sure about. But this seems like a nothing change. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to include it. I'm going to include it, but if anyone knows, if someone wants to yell at me, go ahead. I'm going to say this is a change, like, right, making a nothing change. Yeah, this is a nothing change. I think this is like a, I don't think it's a buff. I wouldn't say it's like a nerf that is actually a buff. Because I think it will be about the same power, which pretty much makes it a nothing change. It's a change that changes nothing. I mean, it does change something, but like overall, it's going to be not a buff. Oh wait, I actually had one for that, right? I had one that is like, a fake nerf. A champion getting nerfed only on paper. Exactly, I knew I had one for that. I don't know. So, Scion, saying he's weak. Okay, so they're trying to buff him? What the fuck? That is a massive buff. Wait, what the fuck? 4% increase on the max HP damage? That is insane. What? Did I miss something? That is a massive buff. Okay, I'm gonna go play Scion after this. What the fuck is this? I don't have much to say though. Okay. Early game, man. His early game is white as fiery as well. Oh god. Spectral is on some additional laning. Scrappier of Dragon? A bit scrappier of Dragon. Okay, that's a typo, right? Scrappier of a dragon. I'm assuming. What the fuck? Oh my god. I can get through this. They're giving him early buffs to his Q damage. This will not make him more scrappier. This will make him better at clearing waves. Riot, what the fuck? This is a lie. This is lie. This is a straight up lie. What? That's not gonna make him more scrappier. He's not gonna use his Q to attack people. He almost never does that. He almost never fucking uses his Q to harass. Always to push the waves. This will just straight up make him better at pushing waves. Oh my god, I can get through this. I can get through this. I can get through this patch without dying. Oh. Okay. Base mana is going up. Mana Q on the Q is actually getting a 50. So using Q at once will pretty much invalidate this change. Wait, attack speed is also going down. Wow. Okay. Yep, they're killing her. They're gonna kill Tristana. Oh my god, finally they're killing Tristana. Mana cost reduced by 10 on W. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I think this is gonna kill Tristana. Oh, yeah, I like it. Finally. Oh god, why is fight being so cringe? Zed's been stuck in the shadows recently. And not in a good way. Funny! Oh my god. Also, that's not true. Pretty sure Zed is really good still. Yeah, 7% pick rate. That's really fucking good. In mid lane, 7% pick rate is insane. Like, I know 48.8% win rate seems like nothing, but for a 7% pick rate, that's insane. That's really good. That's really fucking good. What? Riot, are you okay? Why? What is this? What is this? Why are you doing this? I can't do it. Why did I decide to do it? Does he get like significantly worse in higher ranks? Is that a thing? Okay, yeah. He is a little worse in higher, but I wouldn't consider this bad. 5% pick rate, 48.6% win rate. Yes, it's down from the higher ranks, but that's still really fucking good. That's very decent. Like, that's not bad. That's not underperforming. That's good. Let's see, Challenger. Okay, yeah. So in Challenger, he's underperforming. So in Challenger, he's underperforming. Every other rank, he's doing mostly fine. A little strong in the lower ranks. Yeah, this is really good. 7%. I would say he's already good. Like, why are you buffing him? Why are you buffing him? Cooldown reduction per enemy champion hit from 2 to 3. Why? 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 Okay, Zyra nerfs. I don't love this nerfs. These nerfs are really skewed toward late game Zyra getting nerfed, when like jungle Zyra is much more heavily balanced on the early game. Both jungle and support Zyra are much more balanced on the early game. Since with jungle Zyra, the idea is to like really snowball the game out of proportions. It's pretty much the same with every AP jungler. So the early nerfs are very tiny, but they are something. Like 1 damage might not seem like a lot, but considering this is her passive, this is her plants, so she has like a lot of plants. So this does add up. It does add up. The nerf it does add up. So so it is like a nerf to the early game, but it really is small. This is probably not going to push out of the meta. Maybe this will push out of competitive place, and so her level 1 is going to be weaker. After that, it's like a nerf, but like if she snowballs, she snowballs. Like that's the problem. Like if she snowballs, she already snowballs. Her late game damage is not going to be hit that badly by this. But again, it does add up because she has a lot of plans, and because this is like her main way to kill jungle. So Maybe this is enough to push her out. I doubt it, but maybe, just maybe. Wartmock's armor, already read through this. I don't think they're contradicting anything here. Yeah, to 1,500. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, no complaints on that change. This is stupid. I hate this change. Why are you doing this, Ryan? I don't like this change. This will pretty much make absorb life much better on split pushing champions than early game champions. Than like not early game, than like laning champions. And they're saying it again, and I don't like that they buff a lot of like split push potential. Like, I really hate split push. I mean, I know that it's like it has a reason for it to exist in the game. I'm not saying remove split push. I'm saying, why are we buffing split push? Arena changes, nobody cares. Oh, these are the augments, nobody cares. Are these bug fixes? I almost never read bug fixes. Okay. What the fuck is this? Okay. Okay, skins. So Zaya's getting a skin, Aurora's getting a skin, Yumi's getting a prestige skin. Great, let's give Yumi a prestige skin. Everyone loves seeing Yumi in their games, right? Right? Oh my fucking god. Primordian Rek'Sai, Primordian Belveth, Admiral Battle Bunny Misfortune. Is this the gacha skin? Is this like one of those gacha skins that looks that you need the 30 capsules for? I think it is. Can we include this in a champion getting a skin, like, because they're popular? There's both a case to be made for Seraphine getting a skin. Okay, this is Kaisa, right? This is Kaisa. I'm not stupid. That is Kaisa. What? That is Kaisa. What? Oh my fucking god. And there is a case to be made about Misfortune getting another gacha skin. Yep. Okay, now I want to check the listing to see if... So, what was considered an adjustment? The Hecarim adjustment, I hate it, but I would say it's an adjustment. Right? I don't think I would say it's like a pure buff. Even though it pretty much is just a pure buff. It almost is, but it's like pretty much only a pure buff for Assassin Hecarim, I think. I think Bruiser Hecarim is gonna get slightly hit by this. Maybe one I don't understand enough about to say if it's like a proper nerf slash buff. The Nidalee one is stupid, but it is an adjustment. It's just a really fucking stupid adjustment that I hate. I wouldn't call it a change that is a pure nerf. It is a really stupid one, and I don't understand enough about Amelia to talk about that. I think that's it. I think we didn't achieve the double buff slash nerf. I wonder if I can include this, because I'm so close to getting a bingo. What can we consider as a double buff slash nerf? The only thing that's getting buffed is kind of like absorb life. Can we give like both smolder and absorb life and say it's a double buff? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say the smolder plus absorb life. I know he doesn't actually. I don't think he actually builds absorb life though. I really want to include this. I've always been like an absorb life smolder player. I really liked it. I always find it weird that more people don't do this, especially on mid smolder, which I know isn't like his main build. But Yeah, he doesn't build Absorb Life in any of these. Dude, this sucks. I really wanted to get a bingo. I don't think you can slap on another one, right? Um, what about Warmogs? Can I slap that on another champion? Problem is Warmogs didn't really get a nerf, right? Neither did it get a buff. It's not like it's being buffed. I really wanted to get a bingo. So this is sad. So, or I reworked a champion that was already fine. Unless I can slap that on somehow on what's her name, Nidalee, then it's yeah. Now that I'm looking at these numbers more, this actually does actually start to seem like uh not a nerf. This doesn't look like a nerf. And but that doesn't matter since that won't give us any bingo. And I won't consider it a rework. Not even like a small rework. And I can't really say there's any indirect buff or nerf to any champion since they didn't make anything. This is a buff to Scion. I don't think I can slap any indirect buff or nerf to any champion. Sad day, but I think this is how we're gonna have to end it.